If you have never watched before, thank you for watching. If you have, thank you for tuning back in. This week I will be basically finishing up, I don't want to say doing back up, but finishing up my Exo Terra. My Exo Terra has been sitting on the shelf as like sort of like a punishment for the past 6 months, because I was really done with the thing after building it. This thing, I don't know, maybe you have one, maybe you can relate. This thing was a real pain in the to put together, if you know what I mean. Especially the diff housings front and back, to put those on the chassis. The chassis is aluminium. No, just no. I don't know who designed this and who thought it was a good idea to make it like an epic struggle to put those two parts on the chassis. But you need to go look for another job, because this was not good. The SE-Extend, really good kit. They should get the people who did the SE-Extend and they should have them design the Exo Terra, or redesign it, or at least realign those holes that hold those diff housings on the chassis, because that was not good. Axial, I hope you're watching, because it sucked. Okay, anywho, on to, I shouldn't toss it around all the time because it looks like I'm playing the drums. Okay, the first thing that I noticed when I unpacked the kit, when I was building it, is the injection of the plastic in my shocks, in my shock bodies, wasn't done correctly. So my shock bodies for the rear of the car, that looked kind of like somebody had burned them with a lighter. So I needed to shave off, I think, approximately 8 millimeters to make them flat on the top, where the ring would actually seal it. As a result of that, my Exo Terra sits a bit lower in the back than it's supposed to sit, which is not something that I really like, or something that I really liked to do, the shaving off the top of the shock body on a brand new kit. I have seen that a lot of other guys have gotten super frustrated when building this kit on YouTube. Amongst them, Squirrel. He has a really big, really known YouTube channel. Most likely you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, Squirrel, thank you for the tip on the shocks. I got some of those PowerStroke ProLine shocks. I'll be filling those up with shock oil. They look really nice. Aluminium shock bodies, super adjustable, dual springs on them. So I'll be fitting these. I got the hardware for them. Again, Squirrel has made a tutorial on how to fit these shocks to your Exo Terra and give it in the front a bit of a higher stance, but also to really improve the overall performance of the car itself. So that's good. Got those. Be mounting those up. I got some white rims and some new tires, just to give me a bit more inspiration. I like the fact that it's so dark right now, but since I've been looking at it for 6 months, I want to lighten up the paint job a tiny bit. The parts that I need to paint for this car, I think I need to pick apart the whole cage again, because one of the first parts that I need to complete and cut out here is the interior. As you can see, it has 4 seats. There's a big sticker sheet that Axial provided with this car. I will be painting this one flat coat, most likely dark color like a gunmetal or a black, and slapping that inside. Furthermore, they have this. This is a cool part actually. It's the scale-looking V8 engine with the fuel cell that mounts in the back right here. Apart from detailing this, I will be also pulling out the Griffin licensed radiator that sits in the rear over here, giving that a coat of paint. I didn't have the proper paint to paint that up at the time when I built this, which is a Tamiya TS paint. But right now I also got my Trailfinder 2 in, so I got some of the correct paint. So I'll also be doing that radiator in the back here, which isn't the only licensed part, by the way, because they also have these hand-cooked tires that look really smart. But for what I want to do, I need something else. Other than those interior parts and those detail parts, you get the roof needs to be cut out. Need to remount the light bar, so that's going to be fun. This is the front. After it's cut out, of course. A lot of excess material over here, but it will look really cool, really detailed once it's done. Then you have these tiny panels that, that mount in the back over here underneath the rear spoiler. They also supply some stickers with for the spoiler. I'm not sure if I'm going to use those, but we'll see. I'll just build along and see how it turns out as I go further along in hopping it up and putting on the body panels. And then I got these, which are the doors. This is for my side, the door with the air intake. I know this one comes with a nice plastic insert to give it a bit more of a detailed look. And you got this tiny part over here, which curves around the area right behind the front wheel to avoid too much debris and sand and dirt entering the chassis. I guess I'll be going through my paint, seeing what kind of colors I'm going to slap on. I'll be doing some cutting, and I'll be back when I cut all the pieces and when I'm ready to start masking. I trimmed all these body panels. I put them on just for now, just to put on all the lines. I chose to go for, I think it will be a two-color paint job. So what I did is I separated the two colors with a classic looking tribal thing going on that you would see on an actual sandrail. Furthermore, I fitted the whole interior. I painted that up already. I figured that it wouldn't be too interesting to show me putting on a coat of black in the front with a flat coat on the outside and a coat of gunmetal in the back where the engine is, with another flat coat on the outside. So I just went ahead and did that, put on all the stickers after I put on that flat clear coat. So that's all in, done and ready and bolted in. That way I bolted the cage back down. Saves me a lot of trouble afterwards. Not sure if you'll be able to tell, but I took out the scale looking Griffin radiator and I took it apart completely. Inside there's a few blades that basically mimic an actual electric fan. So I painted those blades, I painted those red. Nobody will be able to see it unless you're a midget and you stand over here, but just for my peace of mind I thought it was a good idea to do that. So I did that. I painted the rest of the radiator silver. Well, as you can see, all these stickers are on. Axial delivers some really awesome stickers with these kits. I refer to Squirrel and his tutorial on how to put on some ProLine PowerStroke shocks in the bit before that you've seen before. These PowerStroke shocks, they have a bigger bore than the stockers. Now what Squirrel did in order to make them fit is he drilled the hole in the top, he drilled that a tiny bit bigger. So he was able to put in a bigger ball end and fit it where it is supposed to fit, between this aluminium bracket and the actual cage. I chose not to do that. First of all, I don't like to drill in new stuff, and second of all, I want to have a bit more clearance over here. On the other side over here is where you need to pull out the battery. So there's two body pins over here. There's one here and there's one in the front. And that way, with the straps that hold the battery in place, you would have so-called easy access to the battery. Trust me, it's not easy at all. And just to make it a tiny bit easier, I moved the shock outwards a tiny bit. It will not affect the performance too much, I think, since the alignment of the shock is still pretty similar to the way it is supposed to be when you compare it to the stance towards the A-arm. Everything works correct, so I'll just be giving this a go, and if it doesn't work out the way I hope or plan, I can always change it back, punch those holes in, put the bigger ball ends in, and move them inwards. Anyway, enough talking. I'll be taking the body panels off, giving them a wash, masking them up, and going for some paint. I've cut out all of the tribal masking that I want to have on the panels. What I did is I made a tiny pinstripe around the edge. But you will see that afterwards. What I'm going to spray first is the darkest color. The darkest color in this case is going to be a metallic red. I'm going to do something special with it. So I'm going to spray the shell with a light mist of water. It's a really simple technique that has a super nice effect once it's done. Basically, I cover up all the to be painted areas with some water. Make sure to keep them still. Mist my metallic red over it, and afterwards I'm going to pop the bags of water with a dry cloth, and I'm going to back it up with another color. I think in this case gunmetal. Well, I hope you was able to see that I put on a really tiny mist with all the Windex bottle. Tiny mist of water, not too thick because you don't want it to run places. After that I fixed it with a coat of flake, which is from the top of my head a PS53 by Tamiya. And after that I put on the metallic. You can go ahead and put on the metallic straight away, that's no problem, but I just wanted to have like a tiny extra sparkle, so that's why I started out with the flake. Right now you can tell that all these tiny drops of water, they form like a tiny pocket, and in those pockets the paint did not adhere, of course. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to get a non-fibrant cloth and just carefully wipe off the rest of the water and of the paint, and after that I'm going to back it up with a gunmetal. Well, that completes the build of my Axial Exo Terra. In addition to all the parts that you've already seen, all the body panels and the ProLine Renegade wheels, I added this roof rack just to complete the scale look. In my opinion, the Axial Exo Terra is the perfect marriage between a race buggy and a scale rig. And I want to be able to put some accessories on there whenever I want, so I added this roof rack. I'll put a link in the description box below if you want to purchase one, and just go ahead and get one because I think it fits nicely. I did need to undo the light bar to sort of tie it in with those two mounts that go up to the roof. Furthermore, I added this spare tire carrier. This one actually came in the honcho kit. It's a tiny tripod. If you're familiar with Axial SCX10, the spare wheel sits in the back of the honcho and it's mounted on a tiny tripod. In order to make the tripod fit, I had to Dremel out two tiny bits in the spoiler, punch 3 holes, and simply mount it up with 3 screws. But I don't know, I have a thing for spare wheels, so I think it looks cool like this. Again, RC is personal. If you don't like it, don't put this stuff on, but if you do, then there's a ton of stuff available, and there's a ton of possibilities to personalize your own rig. I want to thank you for watching. If you're on Facebook, join my page on Facebook if you can. It's Hemi-Storm Products. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and if you liked the video, please press the thumbs up. Hope to see you next time around, and stay safe.